Hello everyone, and welcome to this new video in our FastAPI course. Today we're going to learn a new concept, request bodies and Pydantic models, one of the powerful features of FastAPI. FastAPI uses Pydantic models to give us many useful features, especially automatic data validation. So let's see how this works. One important thing, from this video to the end of the course, we're going to build a to-do list application. For now, we're going to keep our tasks in a simple Python list. Later, we'll replace this with a real database. So let's start. First, let's create a Python list called tasks, and we'll keep it empty for now. Then, let's create our first endpoint. Let's say that our endpoint will be a post endpoint, post/tasks. As you can see, we have a function called createTask, and this function has a parameter called task. For now, let's say that task is of type dict, and after that we can simply do tasks.append task. So we append the task we receive to our tasks list, and then we return that task. But what does this dict mean? It means that FastAPI will expect this parameter to come from the request body as a JSON object, which FastAPI will give us as a Python dictionary. So it's quite simple. The client sends a JSON object in the request body, FastAPI converts it into a Python dictionary, we add it to our list, and then we return it. Let's test this. Let's run the server and go to the Swagger documentation. As you can see, we have our post endpoint. Let's just try, for example, clicking try it out. And as you can see, there is our request body. So as I said, when we specify task as a dictionary, FastAPI understands that this variable will come from the request body as a dictionary, which will be received as JSON. There is also another way to explicitly specify that this parameter should come from the request body. For example, we can use body, so we can do something like task dict equals body. Make sure that body is imported from FastAPI. This also tells FastAPI that the data should come from the request body. But look, if we specify the type as a dict, FastAPI already understands that this should come from the request body. It will not treat it as a query parameter. So there is no need to explicitly use body here. Let's just remove body. And okay, so I think it's... So let's go back to the Swagger documentation. Let's try, for example, to add a task. I already prepared one here. As you can see, a task can have a title, a description, and a completed status. Let's execute it. And as you can see, the task was added successfully and we got a 200 status code. But look, now we have a problem. For example, let's try to add another task. Imagine that another user sends something completely different, like a name field and some other fields that don't belong to our task. Let's execute it. And as you can see, FastAPI still accepts it and adds it successfully. So let's see why this can be a problem. For example, we want every task to have a specific structure. We could do this manually. For example, we can create a new task, and from the data we receive, we can extract the title, description, and completed fields. So here, we assume that the task sent by the user will contain a title, a description, and a completed status. Then, we can append this new task to our tasks list. Now if we try to test this, for example, by sending a task that doesn't have a title, description, or completed field, and click execute, as you can see, we get a 500 internal server error. If we check the console, we can see that FastAPI raises an error because we're trying to access fields that don't exist. Of course, we could add some manual validation here. For example, we could check if the task contains a title, a description, and a completed field before adding it. But look, this can become difficult very quickly. We would need to write many if statements and a lot of validation code ourselves. And this is exactly where Pydantic models can help us. Instead of doing all this validation manually, we can define the structure of our task once using a Pydantic model, and FastAPI will automatically validate the incoming data for us. So what exactly is a Pydantic model? A Pydantic model is simply a Python class that we use to define the structure of our data. We can specify what fields the data should contain and what type each field should have. Then, Pydantic can automatically validate the data for us. So to use a Pydantic model, let's go. First, from Pydantic, let's import base model, just like this. And here, let's create our first Pydantic request model. Let's create a class called taskCreate, and it will inherit from base model, as you can see here. Inside this class, we define the structure of our task. For example, our task will contain a title, and it will be of type star, It will contain a description, also of type star, and it will contain completed, which will be of type bool. So we have created a model that describes the structure of a task. Now let's go back to our function. Before task was of type dict. Let's remove dict and specify that task will be of type task create, like this. So what does this mean? It means that the task we receive in the request body should follow the structure defined by our task create model. So we have our task create model, which defines the structure of the data, and in our create task function, we specify that the task parameter is of type task create. That's the general idea. It's quite simple. We define the structure once in our Pydantic model, and FastAPI uses that model to understand and validate the request body. So let's try to test this. As you can see, we have our post endpoint. Let's click it, and then click Try It Out. And as you can see, Swagger automatically detects the structure of our request body and gives us a JSON object to fill in. For example, this JSON object contains title, description, and completed. It also shows us the expected type for each field. For example, title is a string, description is a string, and completed is a Boolean. Let's fill it in. For the title, let's write task number 1. For the description, let's write task number 1 description. And for completed, let's keep it as false. Now let's click execute. And as you can see, the task was added successfully. So now let's try an example where I can show you one of the benefits of using a Pydantic request model. For example, let's say that a user sends a JSON object without the completed property. Let's click execute. As you can see, the Pydantic model returns a detailed validation error. We have the error details, and we can see that the error type is missing. We can also see the message saying that this field is required, and we can see that the missing field is completed. So as you can see, we didn't write any code to perform this validation. The Pydantic model does this validation automatically and returns the error for us, without us having to write a single line of validation code. That's one of the benefits of using Pydantic models. But that's not all. Pydantic models don't only validate whether the required fields exist, they also validate the types of those fields. For example, title should be a string and completed should be a Boolean. So for example, if we enter some text instead of a Boolean value for completed and click execute, as you can see, we get another validation error. It tells us that the input should be a valid Boolean. That's pretty useful. So one of the main advantages of Pydantic models is that they provide automatic validation for us. We don't have to write a lot of manual code to validate our input data. And there's one more thing we can do with the completed property. We can give it a default value. For example, here in our model, we can write completed bool equals false. This means that if the user doesn't provide a value for completed, its default value will be false. So for example, if I send a request without the completed field, let's click execute. As you can see, there is no validation error, and completed is automatically set to false. That's pretty useful. So I think the general idea is clear. If you don't understand something, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll try to explain it in another video or answer your question in the comments. So let's summarize what we've learned about Pydantic models. A Pydantic model allows us to define the structure of our request data. It also provides automatic validation for our input data, including checking required fields and data types. This helps us keep our application more reliable and maintain data integrity. And that's one of the main advantages of using Pydantic models with FastAPI. See you in the next video.